Hello guys, we are here again and today we'll be talking about job evaluation. What is job evaluation? Um, Here we are talking about evaluating or checking the worth of a particular job. Yes, that is simply what it's all about. So we are saying that it has to do with a systematic process of defining the relative worth of a job in an organization in order to establish the internal relativity, right? We often check job evaluation not in isolation. We compare with other jobs and the demands this job has in respect to other ones, what it takes to do that job in respect to what it takes to do the other job, right? It has to do with the method of determining the worth of a or value of a job in relation to other jobs within the same organization, right? Now, it tries to make a systematic comparison between jobs to determine the relative worth of that job for the purpose of establishing a rational pay structure. Keywords. In respect to other jobs, we want to know the worth of that job. That's why we say internal relativity, to get the relative worth of that job. When we say relative, in respect to others, in relation to other jobs, what is the worth of that job? This helps to determine the pay structure of that job, a rational or say reasonable pay structure for that job, right? It has to be differentiated from job analysis, as we also know, right? Job analysis, systematic way of gathering information about that job, as we have described in one of our videos, right? On the other, every job evaluation, right? It's important to know that every job evaluation requires job analysis. Yes, in order to provide factual information about that job that is in question or concerned about, right? So, in this line, we will understand that job evaluation begins with job analysis. Job evaluation begins with job analysis and ends at that point where we are able to ascertain the worth of that job and get the pay that is acute to it, right? When we have gotten to know that level of what the worth that job requires, or what is the worth of that job, and what it takes to achieve an equitable pay structure for that job. Yes, what should we say? This is equitable to this job, or a rational pay structure for that job. It outlines key responsibilities of any particular job. Yes, job evaluation does that, and standards that we use to evaluate it. Job evaluation do that. So the decisions that what job I want are done not only once in the beginning, but almost every time, because job demands can change and everything. Decision can be made informally based on assumptions of the or in the market, or yes, based on assumption of the value of that job in the market, in marketplace, or in comparison with other jobs in the organization. Very important. Yeah, we can do it informally when we like evaluating it and checking it in respect to market assumptions and other jobs in the organization. Yeah, there are methods of job evaluation. The method of job evaluation includes what we call the point factor method, the ranking method, the classification method. These are three major points, or we say methods of doing job evaluation. Yeah, in point factor method, this is when we assign points to different factors in a job, such as skills, the skills required in this job. Oh, if you want to be here, I think this job requires soft skills, these ones and these and that. That's why you see some people working in bank, they still want to improve their soft skills, they still want to do this, they still want to get their ICANN, all of those things I'm giving for example, right? So those skills, physical and mental demands of that job. Are you exposed to where you have to physically be drained every day? Are you exposed to even where socially or or mentally you are drained. Those marketers going up and down every now and then, I'm sure they are not there having fun, right? And others are under the AC and everything, right? So in this kind of characteristics, even accountability and decision making, these are things they are giving soft or separate points. Even working conditions, like I said before, right? So by working condition, we will give how many percent or how many points, the skills, the mental engagement, the physical engagement, all of those things that are required, the accountability and decision making in the work, all of these things we are what we check under, or we try to accuse or give some points under ranking. The point method. Point method. Now, the second one is the ranking method. Yes, so the ranking method here, we try to arrange jobs in order of their relative importance, hierarchy. Yes, relative importance. That time you are talking about, that is where you are talking about a tech guy, the manager, the janitor, like you rank them in order of organizational organogram, like hierarchy. The managers, I'm sure you know that the weight of what the manager carries is cannot be compared to what a retailer or say a marketer or the tech guys, all of those things, right? So we classify or rank them by hierarchy. And remember, this will help. This is a way we evaluate jobs and get their worth, right? So then another one is the classification method. The classification method has to group them into categories, right? Into categories, the job families, right? The job families, they are, yes. So, and we sometimes we can classify based on the family. These are internet group, these are marketers group, these are official duty group, let me use for example. And there's another way you can classify based on the family, like I said, right? Or hierarchy again. You can, based on the hierarchy, these are these are that, the CEO, the manager, the this and that. You can the plug complexity. You can categorize jobs or classify jobs based on their level of demands, the complexity of that job, how tasking is those jobs, right? So these are ways we classify or evaluate jobs using that classification method, right? So in a nutshell, we have understood that job evaluation uses job description, but at a point you are analyzing using that job analysis, the job evaluation must get to the point that you're able to get the relative worth of that job in respect to other jobs in the workplace, and in respect to assumptions of the worth of that job in the marketplace, and this will help you to determine the pay structure of that job. And like we said, the methods of doing job evaluation includes point method, the ranking method, and the classification method. And thank you, and please do subscribe if you have not. I will be glad to have you see other videos as we have in this channel. This is Dozie Obianyo, and see you in the next video. Thank you.